What is up, everyone? Rich from Rich Pokebets here. Hope you are all doing well. I'm unironically wearing my Disney Spirit jersey right now, but we've got some Disney Lorcana news. So all this is, I don't want to say it's speculation. They're kind of like leaks right now. They're supposed to be making an announcement next week on May 6th about the future of Lorcana. But some pretty convincing leaks have been revealed. And basically, if you want to invest in Lorcana, now is the ultimate time to do so. And so, again, if you like Lorcana news or if you like Pokemon news, I still need to make some Pokemon content. It's been a while, but make sure to subscribe to the channel. Basically, right now we have 7 sets available in Lorcana. They are going to have the 8th set, which is going to be Reina Jafar, that's coming out at the end of next month. But one of the biggest things they announced, or that was shown in this leaks, is that they're going to be making rotations similar to like what we have with Pokemon, where some sets cycle out and you focus on just like the newer and like other current sets to be able to play the game with as far as competitive play goes. So, like I said, there are 7 chapters or 7 sets right now. The 8th one's coming out next month. What they're saying is that year 3, which I don't know if that means next year or if it means like the start of year 3 when the first set came out, which was August 2023, they're going to rotate sets 1 through 4 out. So that's going to be the first chapter, Rise of the Floodborn, Into the Inklings, and not Shimmering Skies. Why can I not think of what it is? Ursula's Return. That's set 4. So they're going to be cycling out 4 sets, and that means only sets 5 through 8 are going to be playable, and then plus any future sets after that until they rotate again. And so what this means is typically when we see this with Pokemon, when a set has fully cycled out, that means 2 things. One, it means the likelihood of reprinting a set is like near impossible, because the only purpose for a company to reprint a set is just so that it can get to the hands of players to be able to play cards. For example, if there is a set, like a card that's out there that's super good, I'm thinking of like the Rapunzel in the first chapter, is very popular legendary card. It's, I think, like 50 or 60 bucks, and it's a very playable card. Like if they wanted to get that into the hands of more people, they would just reprint that card. But if no one's going to be using that card anymore, then there's no need to reprint it, because no one's going to be using it. A lot of people are going to be selling it, and those that wanted it are going to be able to get it now for a more affordable price, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to race to the bottom, not trying to hold on to something that really isn't as valuable anymore. And so I'm not saying a $60 card is going to drop to 0, because there are still a lot of collectors. Rapunzel's a popular princess, but maybe it's $40, maybe it's $30. You know, that price is going to cut drastically. So what does this mean as an investor? Like I said, it means the singles are going to go down, but also booster box prices are going to go up. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to buy a Lorcana booster box, now is the time, because they are, for the most part, outside of the first 2 sets, well below MSRP. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at that right now. All right, so here is the first chapter. You can see it's going for about $410 market price. Lowest ship for US for English is going to be just $394. You can see a lot of things listed here, but that's like Japanese. It's going to take you up until that $394 until you get a legitimate English print of the set. So we'll say about $400 for the first chapter. I don't want to overhype it or anything, but like I would compare this to like base set with Pokemon for a number of reasons. One, it has like the face of Disney, Mickey, in it. You think of like Pokemon, that's where Pikachu was first introduced in the cards, you know? Also, it has the Elsa card. You can see there's Elsa here. This is not how the Elsa card looks at all, but Elsa is an incredibly popular IP or person in the Disney world. Frozen is one of the highest grossing IPs, probably just after like Marvel and Mickey and Friends and Star Wars themselves, you know? Frozen is incredibly popular and will be for the rest of all time. They're making a 3rd one, for crying out loud, next year. But I would compare, and a lot of people do, the Elsa to like the Charizard. It's like not the face of the franchise, but it's the card that everyone wants. Currently, that card's going for about $900, and I am getting a error. I don't know why. It's going for about like $900 right now, which is pretty incredible for a card outside of Pokemon or like Magic to be going for that much money. But you can see, like I said, this booster box is $400. It's already well over MSRP of $144. It's almost tripled that, and this is going to skyrocket. The second set, Rise of the Floodborn, is above MSRP at about $170. The lowest listing is at that $178 right now with free shipping. But this is just going to go up as well too, just because it's going to be out of print. Not as successful as the first chapter, but has a lot of very popular Pokemon. But then the next sets, you see a lot lower pricing. And so this one being the lowest, Into the Inklings, they completely overprinted the set because the first two sets were incredibly popular and bought out right away. That they're like, oh, we need to just crank up the level of the printers, but the set wasn't as popular and they overprinted it. So prices for this is going to be probably the same, but it's well below MSRP. Like literally almost 50% of MSRP. 50% of MSRP is $72. You're paying $8 more than 50% of MSRP. So that's going to go up. Ursula's Return is going to go up. It's $94. It's, again, pretty well under MSRP. You have Shimmering Skies, which I think is one of the most underrated sets because it does have that Mufasa card in it and it has a few other enchanters that are really popular. But that's only going for about market price 105, lowest listing 109. Azurite Sea is getting close to $100 for a while. This was a pretty low set as well too. You can see sales 96 pretty consistently. It did get up to 100 lower, but increase. And then the most recent set available is Arceus Island. This had a ton of playable cards and great looking arts. So this set was always above 100, but you can see even that is still under MSRP. So these last three sets are going to be very playable, or not very playable, but they're just going to be played a lot more because the other ones are going to be rotated out. So these three especially are going to start shooting up in prices. I was about to list 4 booster boxes of Azurite Sea today in a Facebook group, local Facebook group, looking to sell or trade for Enchanteds, but I think it's going to go up a lot more just because it's going to have cards that maybe aren't playable today, but that will be playable in a few weeks from now or whenever they rotate out. So I'm going to hold on to those. I don't see it like shooting up to like $200 a box or anything, but if it can go up to like 120 a box, like I'll take that. You know, I got these for about $90 a box, and so I can make that gain myself. But yeah, just wanted to call this out to everyone. Lorcana is going to start taking off. So some of the leaks that they introduced are higher rarities, additional rarities. And so like the highest rarity right now is Enchanted. Right underneath that is like Legendary. And then they have like super rares and rares. So if you're coming from the Pokemon world, a rare, I would consider that just like a basic EX card. You get quite a lot of them from a booster box. And even like super rares, you get about like 6 of them from a booster box. So honestly, I'd say super rares are more like EXs. Rares are more like holos back in the day when you didn't get a holo in every pack. And then they have legendaries. Legendaries are kind of like the equivalent here of like a full art, I would say. Not the same art style, but like as far as like rarity goes, if you open a booster box, maybe you get like 2 or 3. Same with like an illustration rare in a Pokemon booster box. But the Enchanted, you're basically getting that 1 in every 4 booster boxes at this point. So that's kind of how the rarity system goes right now. They're announcing that they're going to put something in between Legendary and Enchanted. I think they said Epic, maybe is what it's called. So that'll be interesting. It'll be probably like maybe a booster box guaranteed. But then they're going to have something like, I think it's called Iconic, that's going to be above Enchanted. So if you're ripping up a case to get 1 Enchanted already, you're probably going to have to rip 2 to 3 cases to get an Iconic, which is absolutely mind-blowing and will make the demand of Lorcana a lot higher, which is going to make these booster boxes a lot higher. Like I said, MSRP is about $144. You can get most of these boxes for $100 right now, but pretty quickly, we're going to see the days of $100 booster boxes gone. So if you're wanting to invest, now is the time. And even if like you're not a big fan of Lorcana, like maybe that's easier because then you're less likely to rip it. But if you do rip it, there's a lot of amazing arts, and you actually do get a pretty good return on your box for every box that you open. So there you go. This is my PSA. Make sure you invest in Lorcana. Now is the time, and I'll see y'all next video.